All right, guys, we're here at week 7, and Scott and I are stumped. Now the problem
that's a pretty common occurrence.
Now the problem is we have really something nice to entertain you every week here, but we're stuck for this week 7. We're going to start our asteroids project. I've got my spaceship T-shirt on here, and we can't figure out what to do. So we're going to brainstorm MIT style here. So what I've heard is that
I'm not sure Joe knows what MIT style is.
So what I've heard at MIT, when they get stumped, they make a Venn diagram. So I'm going to make a Venn diagram here, and we're going to see if we can figure out things. So I think we need 3 sets. So the first set we're going to start with is everything related to rice, because rice is good. Rice rocks. Let's see. The second one we need is some space. Space. We need something related to space here. Now the third thing we need, I think this is probably the most important thing, is we need something related to the Big Bang Theory. So let's go over here. We'll put in Big Bang Theory. All right, Scott, it's all up to you now. You've got to find out what can we do that does all 3 of these things.
I got an idea.
Like Massimino.
Yeah, I know a guy. Let me go get. Come on over here.
Luckily, I was in the neighborhood. I'm most impressed that he was able to spell the name correctly. Even I had trouble with that.
All right, so Mike.
All right.
So tell me a little bit about this here. So you've really been on the Big Bang Theory?
I have. I've been on there 4 times, cameo appearances. So I get to play myself. I don't really have to act. But they also told me acting is actually just being yourself. That's just what George Clooney does. Maybe they're trying to make me feel good. I just played myself.
And you've also been up in space.
I've been up in space.
What'd you do in space?
I flew twice on the shuttle for the Hubble Space Telescope and worked on the Hubble Space Telescope. But I think I'm known now more for the Big Bang Theory. I think people may find that to be more interesting than I ever.
So that's
okay.
So you've been on the Big Bang Theory, you've been on space, and now you're going to be in our video.
Yes! It's been an upward trend the whole way. Yeah, I'm ready for it to start to taper off, but it just keeps going up like a rocket ship.
So you're going to hit it for disappointment after this.
Probably. It's all downhill from here. This is the highlight. Absolutely.
All right, so here's our plan. So I've sat down and made a little kind of custom space simulator that we're going to let Mike try out here. Okay. And we'll see how good NASA astronauts really are.
I'm set up now. This, I crashed the thing at Disney World. They have some kind of Mars-like space thing. I'm there with my son, and we were screwing around. He was about 11 years old. We're messing around, and the thing comes up. It's like we crashed or something. You would not make a good astronaut. Like, don't let this get out. We'll see what happens with this thing. Now I just let it get out.
Don't worry. We'll edit this all out. Let this all out and never see. All right, we're going to head on over here and set things up and run our simulator.
Okay.
All right. That was good. All right. Well, we were here with Mike. And Mike has graciously agreed to play our little space simulator here. So we're going to do this in 3 phases. This is a training scenario. So in scenario 1, Mike's going to get to pilot our spacecraft here, and his job is to dock with the space station. So Mike, just click on that Rice Rocks logo there and use your arrow keys.
He told me this was going to be easy.
I might have lied.
He said even an astronaut could do it. Okay.
Okay. All right. So yours, just fly over there and dock with the ship, dock with the space station. Oh, that was very good there. That was pretty good. Okay, now.
You're just saying that to make me feel good.
Yeah, we're going to say.
That's 5 seconds?
Well, now we spent.
In what, warp drive? Or like bang?
Well, you know, the time is
That would be cheap. See, we didn't see me practice before. They were worried we don't have that much time.
Okay.
That was like warp drive, that clock,
now,
boom.
All right.
Can they see what I'm doing on the thing?
We've got training scenario 2. Let's see. Okay.
But if they're not watching this, we can just say it's over with.
Well, training scenario 2 is now. Okay, click start. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Now we see the space station has kind of gone a little out of control. So your job is you're gonna chase it down and dock it. So space. I think you say Olay earlier.
That sounds like a bull.
All right, there we go. Here, I'll be tricky and hide over here on the.
You don't have to be tricky. I can't find you anyway. What the hell is with this thing?
Do we have like warping in space? Is that it?
I don't know what the heck's going on. I think I'm using one method of control that is kind of. Yeah, so you go one way, and if it don't work, you try the other way. Because I don't know what. I have no idea what this thing is. All right.
You got it? You got it?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, no, I
You
can't.
got it? You got it?
All
Uh-oh.
right. No, he's taunting me right now.
I
You see
am,
what he's doing?
am taunting
He's
you.
taunting
Here,
me.
I'm going to watch out. The space
All right.
station.
Okay,
All
you
right.
got into me. Thank you.
That's right. That was mercy.
Yeah, that was good. That was
All right,
easy.
now,
What's next? The easy one?
So you ever seen like Will Smith in Independence Day?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to fight aliens.
Okay. So,
He's a Marine.
so and in this third scenario, the space station has been taken over by aliens. So
Why do we want to go there then?
well, you've got to save the Earth. Isn't this what all
If they're on
astronauts
the
do?
space station, who cares? It's only a couple guys.
You just got to play along with me.
All right, okay. We got to save the world.
Hey, whatever
from
you
the
do,
bad aliens.
don't hit that slash key. Okay.
I got, sure it's just like strange astronauts on the space station that appear to be aliens.
Okay. All right. Hit play. Let's go
All right.
forward here. So
right.
so one thing the aliens have, they have a little advanced weaponry.
Uh-huh.
They're actually able to fire, and then they can.
Hey, wait a minute.
So now I can make your score go negative.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
You really need to do that since there's no way. Yeah.
Well, you might want to try your emergency slash key there and see if you can do it.
Oh, okay. So I can fire back.
Yes, you can. Wait.
All right, cool.
See, there you go. All right. All right, come on. Hit it live. Hit it live, Mike.
I got a new thing.
You won't get you have another fuel.
I've got a new technique. Did I hit you yet?
You just destroyed.
All right.
You just destroyed.
All right, the idea is full throttle and fire away. Wasn't I supposed to try to hit the space station?
Well, okay. And you're gonna
If
have
the
to
bad guys got it, we don't want it no more.
You're gonna have to file out a lot of forms, though, aren't you?
A lot of paperwork. Yeah,
Is
that's
it
why we
insured?
don't have weapons in
Is the
space.
space station insured?
No. No. We're done.
Yeah.
It's taxpayers' dollars down the toilet.
All right.
Like that's something new.
Mike, thanks for playing along with us in there. Guys, we'll be back in a second. I'll give you a demo of your project
It was
here.
really fun. Good luck with the class.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks,
Mike.
man. My pleasure, Joe.
So let's look over the program template for your Spaceship Mini project. So I've loaded it here in Code Sculptor. The first thing to note, it's actually fairly long. The template is about 170 lines. It'll end up being about half of your project. So we're going to give you a good piece of code to get started with. Now you're not going to use all the template this week. In a second you'll see that we've actually given you lots of stuff you need to use in week 8 also. But I just wanted you to take a chance to take a look at it right now. Let's see, let's start off. Well, here we have, this is actually a class that you're going to use to organize the information attached to an image. Scott should have gone over this. We kind of scroll on down, we see an important thing here. So here's actually the loads for all the art that we're going to use in the game. We provided a lot of art. We had a professional artist make this. This is Kim Lathrop. We purchased the art. You guys are free to use it anywhere you want as long as it's non-commercial. Just please credit Kim. We have some images for some debris in the background. We have a very nice nebula to service the background. We have a splash screen. We have a ship image. In fact, it's 2 images that are tiled, one without thrust, one with thrust. We have some images for missiles. We have an image for an asteroid. We have an image for an explosion. You can note here that I actually give you kind of some alternative files with other kind of styles of the same art. We have our sound. We actually got this from sounddogs.com. I really highly recommend them. We purchased it from them. They're very inexpensive, but their license asks not to redistribute it. So please just use the sound in this project. If you have another project, go back and buy your sounds from them. They're actually a really great place to get sound for games. The next 2 pieces of the template are pretty straightforward. We've talked about them. We give you the class structure for a ship, and we give the class structure for a sprite. We've kind of put in stubs for the draw and the update methods. The draw method, we just draw a circle, and for the update method, we just pass. Pretty self-explanatory. Here we have the draw handler. Just say a little bit about this piece of code. Don't try to understand it. It's complicated. It's what makes the debris background move. If you get everything else done, you can go back and tinker with this. But this is kind of a subtle piece of code. Here's the thing you're going to be working with, where you're going to do the drawing, where you're going to do the updating. This is going to be the critical part of the project. And then get down to the bottom here. We've actually, in this project, you're going to have a ship. You're going to have to build the kind of all the controls and handling for the ship. And then we're going to have 2 sprites, a rock sprite and a missile sprite. So you're going to kind of get a single rock and a single missile working this week, and the next week you're going to work on dealing with groups of rocks and groups of missiles. So let's just fire this up real quick so you can see what a running template would look like. So the template actually fires up, has the nebula here, has the debris moving across the background. And you can see there are actually three things here. This is the ship. It's a nice big white blob. You probably want to fix that. And we have two sprites. This is an asteroid, a rock, and this is a missile. And so your job is going to be kind of get images in here for these, get these moving in a realistic way, kind of flesh out kind of the bare bones portions of asteroids where you have a single missile and a single rock. So give me a second and now we'll go and I'll demo a working version of what your spaceship project should look like. So now I've loaded in a working version of the Spaceship Mini project. So let's just click run and pop it up real quick. So the first thing you can notice is you should have heard the sound of this little missile being spawned. It was a fire sound. The second thing is we see there's an asteroid here and then we see the ship. So let me just go through what your project should do. So for the ship, your ship should rotate clockwise and counterclockwise based on the arrow keys. Most importantly, when you hit the thrust button, the ship moves forward in its forward direction. It accelerates in the forward direction. We talked about this in the acceleration and friction lecture. Notice that we actually use a different image whenever the ship is thrusting. We use the ship thrust image. So there's two images in the image for the ship. It's a tiled image. You're going to want to use the one with the thrusters on whenever you have the arrow key down. What else? Listen. It's a very nice thrust sound being played while you hold the arrow key down. Okay, so you need to play that sound. What about firing missiles? If I hit the space bar, you heard a fire sound. We just spawned a missile. The missile is traveling in the direction the ship is pacing. So the velocity of that missile should be the following. It should be a combination of the ship's current velocity and the forward vector. So if I'm moving along, I can turn sideways and fire. And notice that the missile is moving toward the right, but it's also moving upward. The final thing is the missile spawns from the tip of the ship. It spawns from the nose right up here. It doesn't spawn from the middle of the ship. For the asteroids, you can see the asteroid is being spawned once a second. It gets spawned in a random location. We don't have to have a group of asteroids at this point. We just need to have a single one. So you're going to need to build a timer and add some asteroid spawn code in there. And you're only going to keep track of one asteroid at a time, just like you're going to keep track of one missile at a time. So this is kind of what you need to do for the Spaceship Mini project. Then next week, you're going to tackle probably the biggest issue, which is how to manage and manipulate groups of missiles and groups of asteroids. And got that done, you're pretty much home free. So work on this. I think you'll find with the mini project description that I provided, it's actually fairly straightforward, just follows a little bit of work. Start early. I'll be monitoring the forums if you have questions. You can do it.